Hi, this is Sydney Lindeman speaking, and I am here to announce Mr. Brand for the recording of practice composition number 2. Alright, so would anyone like to hear a joke?
I do!
Okay. What did one ion say to the other?
I don't know. What?
I've got my eye on you.
I get it.
Yeah, it's funny.
I love ion jokes. They're so funny. Alright, we are going to take a look at percent composition problems. This is the second type, the second set in the series of percent composition problems. This one, that's hydrates. That's hydrates. There we go. Percent composition practice set 2. You guys should do fairly well with this. It does require a little bit of an extra step. And that's C and D there. A and B, now we're on the right page. It requires a little bit of an extra step, but I'm sure you guys will be absolutely fine when you go through it. So when we take a look at a percent composition problem where we're trying to figure out the mass of a given element in a certain sample size. For example, this sample size is 50 grams. We want to know what the mass of K is. The only way we're able to do that is if we first figure out what the percent composition is, which is like sample set 1 if you need to review it. Remember, the first thing that you should do is determine your molecular mass because you're going to need it. So K times 1, K is potassium, which is 39.10, and Br is bromine, which is 79.91. When you add those two together, you get a total molecular mass of 119.01, and we'll need that number here in a little bit. So remember, when you're doing what is the mass in a certain sample size, you need to know what percentage you have. So you start off by writing down what you know. You know that the mass of bromine is 79.91, and that's from the periodic table of Br, and that's grams per mole because we use the molar mass. The next thing we need to look at is the mole ratio very quickly, and that is 1 mole of Br compared to the 1 mole of the entire compound, which is KBr. And remember, if you put a box around that, you won't try to cancel things and get all confused. That's a mole ratio, so you don't need to cancel anything. After we do that, we're still setting it up just like sample set 1, where now we have 1 mole of Br over the entire molar mass, which over here we look, it's 119.01 of your entire compound of KBr. And this would be a formula unit because it's a metal and a nonmetal. So it's an ionic bond. Then we just plug everything in the calculator and solve. What's 79.91 divided by 119.01? And it's percent composition. So we multiply by 100. And we get a value of 67.15% of bromine. Now that we have that number, what we need to do is figure out how much we have in a 50 gram sample. There's multiple ways you can do this. You can set up a proportion, you can do numerous things, but the way that I do it is fairly simple, and that is you can compare your percentage to 100, because that's what a percent is 100. So if we assume that 67.15% is the same thing as 67.15 grams going into 100 grams, because that gives us 0.6715. And then we multiply it by our sample size, which in this problem it's 50.0 grams. And then, so basically you're taking 67% of 50 to figure out what the percent composition, and this is of, whoa, it's gone again. Okay, it's back. This is of Br, and we want to know in the whole solution of KBr. And when we solve it, we end up getting 33.6 grams of bromine in the sample. And if we look up here, that was our answer. So great job. Go ahead and practice a lot of these, and if you have any problems, come see me. And remember, I've got my eye on you.